Hey Switchers, how's it going? Kanan here and welcome to my review of Piczle, I think it's pronounced. And before we get started, why not hit that like and subscribe button to stay up to date with all my latest content. And also why not pop over to our community Discord, a link below. And lo, it's time to find out whether Piczle is going to make it up onto the Wall of Fame, or the Wall of Shame, or maybe somewhere in the middle. Let's get on with it. Gameplay. Okay, so first of all, this is actually what you're meant to be doing. You're meant to be taking these small cells and basically adding them to each other and then creating these larger cells, adding them to each other and creating these other cells until you get this big square green cell. And basically you do this by sliding them either touchscreen with your finger or using the actual controls, which are kind of nice and easy. But yeah, I think if you got it in handheld, touchscreen's probably the way you want to be going. It's worth noting also that the game can be played in left or right handed, and also you can change the background colours if you do wish so. There's about 100 levels here to go through, and I'm buggered if I can get a portion of that. This game is really hard. There's meant to be about 100 levels within this game, and they're set up in little stages, and you have to complete a certain amount of those levels in order to unlock the next stage. And as you can see, I've only unlocked the next stage, which brings up sort of like walls and objects in your way, and this does actually get more and more complicated as you go along, with even conveyor belts coming out in some of the levels later on. Now, I'm not going to wish-wash it, this is an incredibly hard game. I have struggled playing this so much. In fact, I've played it, and as you can see, I've dotted my actual gameplay around, because if I can't get past one, I've gone on to a different one. Even one that's like further down the board, and I've completed that over one that's like nearer to the start. So I don't think they're actually in any sort of order. I've also noticed walking away and then coming back to it kind of like helps also to, I don't know, just refresh your mind. And just moving from stage to stage, if you can't do one, move on to another one, because there's definitely that element that some will click in your head a lot more than others will. Now, weirdly enough, it does actually give you a time that it's taking you to actually complete the levels that you've completed it. And mine actually says 8 minutes and 4 seconds at the moment, but I can guarantee you I've been playing this for a few hours now, and this is all I've managed to accomplish. So basically, if you're not scared of a challenge, probably this one is for you, especially if you have like that mindset that, you know, if you look at something, sometimes things will click in your head. And as I said before, there's been a certain amount of that going on here, where I've gone into a level and I've just seen how it should actually just unfold, and others it's just taken me so long and just redoing it and redoing it. And that pretty well brings me nicely onto the features within the actual gameplay. So there's a rewind feature. You can rewind a move, so you go back one move and then back another one, or you can just rewind the whole entire stage and just start completely again. And trust me, you'll be using these two features a hell of a lot. I think also this is the sort of game that you'll either like or you will hate and despise. Luckily enough, I'm on the liking side. I don't mind it. I think the actual difficulty is insanely difficult in some of the actual levels, but it's in a good way. It's in a, yeah, I'll come back to that, and yeah, this is really difficult, but surely I can get past it. And there is also the getting past certain bits and thinking, oh my god, I'm an idiot, I should have seen that in the first place. Graphically, it's kind of basic. It's a grid-based type movement system, and yeah, the blobs look okay. And the environments, when there are environment objects in the way, they look okay too. But I think the most standout thing about this is the fact that you can move the camera. You can have the camera in different angle, kind of, as in closer up and further away slightly, with a bit more detail and with less detail, that sort of thing. Audio wise, I don't think it's too bad. It's kind of like a nice little almost rap type, almost jazzy type feeling to it. The sounds of everything else is okay. There's nothing really special here to really write home about. The good. It is really, really difficult. There is no other way of saying it. It's difficult, but in a good way. It's that good difficult where you know it can be solved. You just really need to get your head around it. The bad. It's really, really difficult. Sometimes I feel like just giving up and not going back to it. And I feel like that might scare some people away. In fact, I could already hear some people saying, not for me, I don't want that sort of headache. The score. I've kind of enjoyed my time in Pixel Cells in kind of like a torturing myself whilst playing type way. But I definitely think it's got the potential to put some people off. But I'm definitely going to give it a 3 out of 5, which is kind of an average game. It's definitely not below average, and I'm not quite sure whether it's over average. But yeah, I definitely think it's well worth a go if you do enjoy this sort of brain teaser. And as for my alternative, I'm definitely going to suggest Motif, a more relaxing puzzle game. I think once you're done with this one, you'll definitely need to relax your brain a little bit, and I think you'll get that from Motif. It's definitely a more calming puzzler game, but it's also got its difficulty as well. And so, are you going to be picking up Pixel Cells, or are you going to be leaving it? Let us know what you think down in the comments, because that's what they're there for after all. And feel free to hit that like and subscribe button to be kept up to date with all my latest content. It will mean a lot to me as well, and you'll be helping the channel. And don't forget to hit that link down below to bring yourself to our community Discord. We're all a friendly bunch there, and we like to chat about things that we are interested in, as in Nintendo Switch and gaming. Because life is better when you switch together.